The Russians have found another death point in Ukraine, Bilohorivka in the Luhansk region. For several days the occupiers tried to force the Siversky Donets river there. They brought pontoon crossings and suffered losses. They tried again and suffered even more. According to Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs of Ukraine Anton Gerashchenko, within a couple of days the Russian lost about 250 units of equipment and about 1,500 soldiers and officers. At the same time, the volunteer intelligence community Inform Nepal reported that one of the Russian units sent 550 people to cross the river. Only 65 of them returned alive. And all this is the result of the work of Ukrainian artillery. Russians, as always, when there is no way to brag about their own, steal from others. They showed footage of the battle and said they had destroyed the pontoon crossing of the Ukrainian military. However, the Russians did not explain why the armed forces that are currently defending on this section of the front went to cross the river. And this is not the first case when the Russians showed their destroyed equipment but posed that this is how they eliminate Ukrainians. Listen to the bravura statements of one of the main Russian military propagandists, Igor Konashenkov. Within 2 days, 29 Ukrainian UAVs were shot down, including 8 attack drones Bayraktar TB2. At the same time, 4 Bayraktars were shot down this afternoon. Also, when trying to land on the night of May 8th, 3 armored Ukrainian assault boats of Project 58-181 Centaur were destroyed. This is how they tell about the alleged attack of the Ukrainian military on the island of Zmyiny. Konashenkov speaks of several destroyed Ukrainian planes and helicopters with a landing party, and he assures that it was Zelensky who personally ordered such an offensive after consultations with the British. Russian propagandists did not hesitate to talk about it in the news. They even showed a video. But in reality, this footage shows Russian troops being hit by the armed forces of Ukraine on Zmyiny. Ukrainians destroyed the occupiers' air defense systems, a couple of helicopters and several Russian landing craft. According to Ukrainian intelligence, only 8 of the 40 liaison officers sent to the island from the Russian-occupied Ukrainian Sevastopol returned alive. The interception of conversations clearly shows the details.
82 и 83 оба подбиты. Bayraktar до сих пор следует за нами. Повторяю, до сих пор следует за нами. 81-й, по нам выпустили 4-ю ракету. Где воздух? Где воздух?
Probably the same can be heard when Ukrainian armed forces beat them again in the famous Chornobayivka near Kherson. Since the beginning of the invasion, the Ukrainian military fired Russian position there 20 times. The occupiers told their parents about this more than once.
У нас просто что, у нас не воевать нечем, ничего у нас, ни техники, вообще ничего живого нету.
Куда же она делась? Все разбомбили, что ли, вас?
Да. Мы здесь вон приехали в Херсон на базу. Здесь вообще жопа. Кладбище вертолетов.
Своих?
Ну да, у нас же как все в армии, все по линеечке, все ровненько. Вертолеты выстрелили в один ряд и все накрыло нахрен градами.
The Ukrainian military methodically destroyed the occupiers in the legendary Chornobayivka. Despite this, they come there again and again suffer losses.
У меня, мама, командир моей батареи 2-го взвода сам себе в ногу стрельнул, чтобы свалить отсюда. Еще в самом начале. О чем говорить можно? Он срочку в Чечне служил. Как у них по уставу у офицеров сказано? Если бригады меньше 50% осталось, бригаду выводят, либо прикомандировывают к другой бригаде. А по итогу что? Мы как воюем свои бригады, так и воюем, а народу только меньше становится. У нас люди вообще путем даже сами пропадают. Кто просто без вести пропали. Кто-то в плену, кто-то где-то гасится, прячется, кто-то уже в России, может быть, давным-давно.
And while Russian soldiers sent by Putin to kill Ukrainians are worried about their relatives, those who live in Russian cities say they are ready for anything for the sake of the homeland. Well, almost everything.
Патриот чего?
Своей страны.
Конечно.
На что вы готовы ради страны?
На все.
Смотрите, у нас есть патриотический список. Можете, пожалуйста, нам оставить свои данные? И в случае всеобщей мобилизации У вас будет... Подождите, почему? Мужчина, почему не...
Such are they, Russian patriots. They say they are ready for anything, and when they learn that Putin can send them to war, they run away. After all, they can get to Bilohorivka, Chornobayivka or Zmyiny Island, and whether their body will be brought home is another question. After all, as you know, Russia is abandoning its own soldiers, but if they're lucky, the children may come to the grave, or they will decorate it, as for example it was done in Novosibirsk. There was a competition for the best decoration of graves. The winner received 20,000 rubles. Those wishing to take part were even brought from occupied Ukrainian Sevastopol. It's 4,500 kilometers away, but such a distance did not frighten them. After all, this is the chance to earn that no Russian wants to lose.